Assalamualaikum and a very good day to our lecturer Dr. Mohamad Naimi bin Mohamad Noor, lecturer for Auditing and Assurance 1, code BKAA2013. Today our group, which is Group 8, will present about the fraud and independent audit in Wirecard company. Before we move further to our discussion, let me introduce you to our group members. The first member is me, myself, Siti Analia Sarah binti Abdul Malek, matric number 272603. Siti Nur Afiqah binti Mohamad Noor 273318. Yap Yi Wen 277138. Tang Hui Ling 278911. And lastly, Nur Syarah binti Shamsudin 281619. Next, I will present about company profile. Wirecard was founded in 1999 and is headquartered in Eschheim, Germany. Wirecard is a technology business that provides electronic payment, outsourcing and white label solutions around the world. There are three segments in this company, which is payment processing and risk management, second, acquiring and issuing, and lastly, call center and communication service. Next, discussion about the scandal. The Wirecard scandal refers to a series of accounting irregularities that lead to the insolvency of Wirecard, a German payment processor and financial service company that was listed on the DAX index. Wirecard, based in Munich, Germany, is a payment processor. The crisis, as we know it, only came to light this year, but there have been rumors of malfeasance since 2008. Balance sheet problem and result of money laundering charge are among the whispering. Those who criticized Wirecard were subject to hacking effort, albeit the perpetrators were never identified. Next, accounting misconduct allegations have followed the company from its inception, peaking in 2019 when the Financial Times released a series of investigations, as well as whistleblower accusations and internal records. Wirecard filed for insolvency on June 25, 2020, following the discovery of 1.9 billion in stolen funds and the firing and arrest of its CEO, Marcus Brown. Questions have been raised about the Federal Financial Supervisory Authority's efforts. Germany's top financial watchdog regulatory failures and alleged malpractice by its longtime auditor, Ernst & Young. That's all for me. Thank you.
Assalamualaikum and hi, my name is Nur Syarah binti Shamsudin, matric number 281619. So I will continue the presentation by explaining about the effect of the scandal to the auditors. Generally, after Wirecard scandal have been discovered, a new act have been established by the German government starting on 1st July 2021, where this act is known as the Act on Strengthening the Financial Market Integrity. So through this act, there are many requirements that need to be implied by all the auditors under the German listed companies. And here I highlight some of the requirements, where the first one is the external and internal auditor must be changed and rotated for every 10 and 5 years respectively. Next, the audit committee must consist of 2 financial experts in the field of auditing and also accounting. The Act also emphasized on the urge of having a separate meeting between the board of directors and also the auditor. So this Act and all these requirements are like the right of standard information for the auditors are intended to strengthen the right of the auditor and also increase the audit quality. Besides, this scandal left a negative impact specifically to EY company, where their reputation and image have been tarnished after the scandal. First, EY auditors are facing with legal action by the shareholder of the Wirecard, with a total of 280 lawsuit cases that have been filed to EY, as they have failed to detect this fraud earlier and caused a major loss from the perspective of the investor. Next, EY also faced a loss of annual auditing business with a total of 42 million euro, as there are numerous of clients like DWS, KfW, Commerzbank and many more other companies have dropped EY as their auditor, as they have lost their trust to EY. Then EY also have invested $2 billion to improve their ability of fraud detection, and also change their organization structure. So this investing and also changing the organization structure from Huber Bath to the Henry Elson and Jin Yif are the methods that have been taken by EY to improve their reputation and store trust from the clients.
Good day, doctor. I'm Yap Yi Wen and my metric number is 277138. I'm going to start with the subtopic 2.3 involvement or role of auditors in the case. The first role of auditor is perform risk assessment. EY should perform a risk assessment to determine the fraud of the company and provide a basis for the identification and assessment of the risk of material misstatement at the financial statement and assertion levels. We believe that there is a possibility of management fraud happening in Wirecard as EY could not declare the evidence for the significant amount of revenue and the risk of material misstatement exists as EY failed to suspect the falsification of Wirecard's account of a significant amount of revenue. First, EY should maintain an attitude of professional skepticism throughout the audit by considering the potential for management override of controls and recognizing the possibility that a material misstatement due to fraud could exist. Second, EY should review the information given by management and third party, then communicate with management and those charged with governance. Then, EY should carry out analytical procedures for risk assessment purpose as it can aid in detection of unexpected transactions or events as well as numbers, ratios, patterns that could imply audit issues. Second role of auditor in this case is evaluate audit evidence. It's common for the auditor to obtain confirmation directly from the bank when verifying assets such as bank accounts with significant deposits as in this case. In addition, it's also important to verify that the relevant accounts exist and that the amounts stated by the company are true. However, EY had been unable to verify asset and Wirecard sales figures. Therefore, believe that EY had violated the practices in ISA 500. The reason we say that EY had failed to comply with ISA 500 is because EY did not have sufficient and appropriate evidence and had provided an unqualified opinion as the financial statements of Wirecard are materially misstated. Then, EY had failed to exercise the caution of assessing the reliability of evidence, as EY should obtain a letter directly from the OCBC bank manager to confirm the bank balances of 1.9 million euros as reliable evidence for this case. If the evidence is gathered from information prepared by the management and third party, EY should evaluate the appropriateness of the work of experts as audit evidence and the competence, capabilities, and objectivity of the expert as the information obtained from the management and third party may not be reliable if the expert lacks objectivity and is not knowledgeable. EY needs to establish a professional judgment to believe that audit evidence obtained is sufficient and appropriate to support the auditor's opinion.
My name is Tang Hui Ling and my metric number is 278911. Now I'm going to present about the role of auditor. The auditor is responsible to examine the financial statement to determine that the financial statement is prepared in compliance with applicable financial reporting framework. They should evaluate the company accounting practice to make sure that the judgment and decision made by management on the accounting policy and accounting estimates are free from bias and error. In this case, EY is failed to examine the Wirecard financial statement because of its approval on the Wirecard's applications of gross revenue approach on TPA transactions. According to KPMG reports, Wirecard is considered as an agent rather than the principal in the TPA transactions. Thus, TPA revenue should be recorded using net approach but not gross approach. And the applications of gross revenue approach by Wirecard could create a bias. This is because the revenue recognized under gross approach would be greater, and this would influence some indicator of the company performance, which in turn affect the investor decisions and the company share price. Besides that, EY is failed to examine the Wirecard financial statements because it's failed to discover the Wirecard's error on classifications of escrow account under cash and cash equivalents. The Wirecard escrow account neither meet the definitions of cash nor cash equivalents. Thus, the escrow account should not be classified under cash and cash equivalents, but should be classified under other financial assets. Next, Auditors should make inquiry with the company management and personnel to obtain information and gather audit evidence. Investigation will be conducted by auditor when there are inconsistencies occur. In this case, EY did not make proper inquiry with the Wirecard management and other within the company to obtain adequate and reliable evidence regarding the missing €1.9 billion in Singapore OCBC Bank. EY simply accept and rely on the screenshot and document provided by the third-party trustee and Wirecard itself, where the reliability of this document provided is considered low due to its authenticity. EY even did not make inquiry with the Singapore OCBC Bank to get the relevant account statements and balance confirmations. However, EY have previously initiated an investigation on Wirecard due to the false allegations made by the whistleblower, even though the investigations have finally shut down. And through EY efforts, EY have eventually discovered that the underlying documentations for the escrow account are forged. Besides that, auditors should act as an independent person who perform independent check and express independent audit opinion on a company financial statement. The auditor should free from the company control which may influence the auditor ability to form an unbiased and honest audit opinions. In this case, many incidents have shown that EY is not fully independent from the Wirecard safeguards. Firstly, EY previous investigations on the false allegations made by whistleblower have been shut down at the behest of the Wirecard management. In addition, the whistleblower have revealed that the Wirecard senior executive have provided EY local staff personal compensations, which in turn result in the auditor agreed to sign off on the manipulated number of sales. The Financial Times also revealed that EY staff have used the prepaid cards supplied by Wirecard for shopping exercise. That's all from me. Thank you.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Siti Afiqah binti Mohamad Noor. My matric number is 272318. I will talk about role of auditors in the case for Wirecard German company. One of the role of auditors is detecting error and fraud. When an auditor conducts an audit in accordance with ISA, he or she has reasonable assurance that the financial statements as a whole are free of material misstatement, whether due to fraud or error. Regardless of the auditor's previous experience with the company about the honesty and integrity of management and those tasked with the governance, auditors should retain a professional skepticism and also recognizing the possibility of a material misstatements due to fraud. From this case, we see that EY was claiming that sufficient audit evidence for 1.9 billion euros on the balance sheet could not be found. And also, EY failed to carry out its auditing obligation to detect fraud when they were unable to obtain critical account information from OCBC for more than 3 years. And also, we see that EY only used documentation and image given by Wirecard and a third party to authenticate the significant quantity without checking directly with OCBC. From this case, we can say that EY as an auditor should perform procedures to obtain information that is used to identify the risk of material misstatement due to fraud. And EY also has to improve its weakness in the audit that had been shown in the case of the Wirecard company. Auditors also have to improve audit communication. One of the roles of auditor is to communicate with their client after they finish the audit report of the company. When there is a fraud or error has been found from the financial statements and report, the auditor should bring it to the management levels and attention and try to communicate with them. Since EY had failed to issue an audit opinion 3 times when Wirecard was required to declare its performance, we believe that EY might have been possible to detect some material misstatement which were due to fraud or error. So from this case, communication is very important. As an auditor, EY should play their role by communicating with their client before publishing the report, as it is their responsibility to bring the matters that have been found in the financial report to the attention of the management level and also discuss with them the matters and also solution or action that may be to be taken on it. So that's all from me. Thank you.
In summary, this presentation has discovered many parts of the Wirecard scandal, starting from the introduction of the company and scandal, and also the effect of this scandal to many auditors and firms, especially to EY auditors, where there is a new act that need to be implemented, and also EY face a major loss in terms of financial and also their reputations. After that, we also have discovered EY auditor rule and also their involvement in this scandal, like perform audit risk, make inquiry and investigation, and many more others. All in all, one weakness that we have find that EY auditor is lack of professional skepticism to verify the audit evidence, as the auditor only audit through the document given. Instead of that, EY should get reliable evidence from the third party directly and evaluate it thoroughly and to prevent this scandal to occur. That's all for us. Thank you.